Hey, what's up, guys? Today I got a dual commentary with Blame Truth. What's up?
What's up, man?
So today I wanted to talk about something that not a lot of people tend to talk about. I think like a lot of people like to talk about gameplay. A lot of people talk about certain subjects, but I wanted to talk about kind of the roots of the community and kind of what you and a lot of other people like xCal, iBlessed, and some of the other original guys who started doing commentaries and Call of Duty videos in general have kind of started. And it's even a job for a lot of people now. Obviously, people are familiar with Hutch and Scene Anners now having jobs at Machinima, but I think that's the most general example or common example people might think of. But I don't think people even realize that Machinima Respawn itself, the branch of the Machinima company, was actually started or kind of engineered based on what you and the people I listed kind of started on YouTube, if you know what I mean. First of all, like you started making videos back in the summer of like 2007, like early 2007, right?
No, I think it was. Hang on, I'll have to go see. Actually, it's been a long time. I'll have to go check my videos here. Let's see. Like the first ever video I started, or the first ever video I have was back from like June. Call of Duty. Oh no, the first video I ever did was like June '07. I just did random things, but
Yeah.
first Call of Duty video was like '08, I think, summer '08. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and commentary itself didn't even start until like a year after that. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, and you guys started doing you and some other original people who started doing these commentaries, and kind of the community that's kind of evolved around what you guys started is in. I don't know how to explain it other than like immense and just kind of. I was wondering what you thought about kind of what you started here, and not necessarily right now the quality of the community, but just the sheer size of what has bloomed out of what you and the other people started here.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy. I think all the credit though should go to xCalazors, because as far as I know, he was the very first guy to start uploading gameplay in general. I remember the whole reason I got started doing it was because I was watching him do it, and I was getting pretty good at Call of Duty 2, or 4 as well, I should say. And I was watching him play, and he was really good. And I didn't really want to rip him off, so I didn't really upload anything and bother with capture carding. But he uploaded something to his original channel, which is a different channel than he has now, and it caused the channel to get banned. And he was gone for like had to be 2 months, I think. He didn't bother making a new account, and so I decided in that period he was gone. I upload some gameplay since he wasn't. I didn't think he was going to do it anymore, and I started uploading some gameplay. And then a little later, about a month later after I started, he came back, and then around that time, some other guys started it. Like I think iBless started it, as you said. Storm Shadow K, he doesn't make videos anymore, I don't think, but he started doing some too. And so the credit goes to xCal as far as posting gameplay of the game. As far as I know, I was the first one to do commentary over it though. I did that. When did I start that? Hang on. I think it was like my 7th free for all.
Early January 2009, like.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you're right.
I actually went back and looked. Yeah, it was pretty awesome just to kind of go back and see what you guys did and how it literally has bloomed into, as I said before, a job for a lot of people, and how it started. I'd say like obviously with you guys as like the original guys, and then PJ, Sam 5000, a bunch of other people stepped in before Modern Warfare 2 came out, and I'd say there was about 50 or so commentators, specifically, a lot of video makers in general, but commentators, there was about 50 or less, I'd say. And I'm going to guess, because there's really no way to look at it specifically, but considering that Machinima itself has about 200 or more directors right now for Call of Duty videos, I'm going to guess that there's around 1,000 or more people making these videos now. And I'd say that like most of them at this point, of all these commentators, have gotten the HD PVRs, and I think it's nothing short of absurd how many people have started doing it. Like kind of crazy, not in a bad way, but ridiculous how big the community has gotten. I mean, you literally now, like when people started out, their choices were not that it was bad at all, but their choices were you, xCal, Blast, as you said, Storm Shadow K, who I'm not really familiar with. But now people can get anything that they want. If there's somebody who likes to hear, some kid yelling into the microphone, they can do that. If people want to see, somebody going around only knifing, they can do that. If they want to listen to a guy from Sweden, making, funny jokes all the time, they can listen to that.
Yeah.
And it's like how diverse the community got is awesome. But all this great stuff also comes with its fair share of bad stuff. And I guess most notably drama. And I'm not going to get into any specifics. I mean, if you want to, you can. But what do you think about how, like, there was literally no drama? I guess the most drama you could possibly say that ever happened back in the day was maybe, like, one or two people might have said, oh, this person is, I don't think anybody would have said this, but, like, you're doing commentary that started from somebody else. And there's, I guess it's kind of a retarded way to look at it, but what do you think about the drama that's around the community today?
I think it's pretty dumb because, I mean, I understand that some people do it. I'm not going to mention any names really, but I understand some people do it just for publicity, and that's pretty smart. I'm gonna mention Wings. I remember him saying something about Hutch and quick scoping back in the day, and Wings is a friend of mine, so he's okay with it. He won't care. But he mentioned something like calling out quick scopers, I think, back in the day, just so he could get a dual comm with Hutch, pretty much, and it was very smart. It wasn't like, he wasn't like insulting him, like insulting his personal life or whatever. They just had a disagreement, so stuff like that. I mean, that's cool. I don't really care, but yeah, there's some guys that take it a little too far, and I think that it's just pretty silly because the last thing you really want, if you're getting a big channel and you're starting to get subscribers, is just not to get a big head. You don't want an ego, because when that ego gets deflated, it's very disheartening, I guess. And so you just want to be humble about it, and just I think that's the reason C Nanners has gotten as far as he's gotten, is just because he's a nice guy. He doesn't start drama, and a lot of people seem to like that more. And same with Tabe, he's a nice guy too. Plus he's Swedish, so he's funny. And so I mean, yeah, Hutch is pretty nice too. So all the nicer guys are pretty much the biggest guys, and
yeah,
that's probably how it should be. So.
Yeah, C Nanners. Speaking of C Nanners, I mean, he's the one who was like, he said two things that are kind of, that I've remembered, is that if he gets any hate comments, he doesn't respond to it. He doesn't, kind of fuel the trolls. And also, he said in a more recent commentary that he finds it absurd that anybody could argue when you're doing such a kind of niche thing, like how somebody who, if you told somebody that you're fighting with other people who are, making videos about Call of Duty, and you're also making videos about Call of Duty and then recording commentary over it, it's such a weird thing, kind of, I guess, and it's like, how could you argue over that? It's the way I think of it, because I'm kind of involved in the community, and sometimes I see the drama as like, not so crazy, but I thought to myself, like, what if people were fighting over, like, who was better at, like, and I know, and this is an attack at you, but like, who was better at, like, Pokemon? I couldn't imagine, like, people fighting over, like getting into heated arguments about Pokemon. Like, that's how people need to think about it. Like, what if you're just arguing with somebody, like, about something so stupid like that, and a lot of people who are in the Call of Duty community don't see as what we do as weird or stupid at all. But when you take a second back and you look back at, like, I'm sitting by myself in a room right now, or recording a commentary over some gameplay I recorded on Xbox, it is a pretty weird thing to do, I'd say. I don't know.
It's pretty weird.
That I looked at it.
It's pretty weird, and I actually made a commentary. It might get posted before this video, but I sent in a commentary just talking about, like, why people troll. And I always, or in that commentary, I talked about how back in the day when I only had about 1,000 subscribers, and I was pretty much the only guy, like me and xCal, and I Blessed, and a handful of other people were the only ones doing it. People were a lot nicer, it seemed. You know what I mean? Like, you could carry on conversations in the comments just fine. Everyone was nice, and it was a lot more friendly. And now it's like, if I post a Modern Warfare 2 video to Machinima, I don't even want to read the comments half the time, because it seems like that game, or Modern Warfare 2 in specific, just like breeds hate You know what I mean? Like someone will
Mhm.
just hate on your play style. Like if you're playing defensive, people will call you camper. If you're playing offensive, too offensive, then you know you're host, or you're playing bad players or something. And it's just like you can't use certain guns, certain things. You know, like the UMP is frowned upon. Most assault rifles are frowned upon.
Which in
Dangerous close.
itself, yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that I can't stand that argument, and I think that you go about it in such a nice way. I'm just saying, really, you're complaining about the UMP. Like, have you seen how little recoil the ACR has? I mean, people complain about really stupid stuff, and I think it's probably, and I don't know if you would agree with this, but because of how big the community is now, with like an untapped audience of probably, or like a tapped audience of like 5 to 600,000 people, considering how many people are subscribed to Machinima Respawn and how many people don't want to subscribe. I mean, the community used to be so tight knit and close together, and there was like a stronger bond, I think, between the commentators and their subscribers. But when one person is torn between being subscribed to like 50 people, and they can hear literally two of their favorite commentators say two opposite things, it just kind of causes arguments, because I still hear
Yeah.
big commentators complain about the UMP. I still hear, people complain about,
Well,
all the cheap stuff in this game.
there's nothing wrong with complaining about it, because I mean they paid for the game, they can say what they want, but you can't blame someone for using it. Is what I was trying to get out. Like, I mean, it's in the game. Like, Infinity Ward coded it in. If you have a problem with it, don't insult the person using it. If you say, "Oh, the UMP's overpowered," well, that's cool. You can complain about it and stuff, but just don't like attack the person using it and call him a douchebag or something, because that's just kind of silly. Because they're just using what's in the game. I mean, it got to the point. Like I said, I didn't like the overpowered things in Modern Warfare 2, so I just quit playing it. I mean, it's just simple as that, pretty much. So.
All right. Well, I thank you very much for coming on and talking to me about the community. Final score of this game was 102-5. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you don't know who Blame Truth is, which I'm not saying anybody, you guys all know who he is, but his link to his channel will be in the description. And I'll see you guys later. Anything else you want to say?
Nothing much, man. Thanks for having me. No problem.